The bear's roar breaks the dry valley like thunder. Amid the orange dust, the alpha wolf leaps with its body arched, dodging by mere centimeters the paw that could have crushed him. Surrounded, the bear spins furiously, but the pack does not retreat. This is no ordinary territory. In the interior of British Columbia, between the arid slopes of the Thompson-Okanagan Plateau and the sparse shadows of boreal forests, top predators compete for every carcass with teeth, claws, and intelligence. Gray wolves form fierce clans, grizzly bears roam with brutal strength, and invasive wild boars emerge as a new source of ecological tension. The terrain is broken, rocky, dotted with dry bushes and deep ravines. But on that evening, when a young she-wolf falls under the weight of a hungry bear, and the pack runs to confront him in an unequal fight, the fate of all hangs on a thin thread of instinct, blood, and decision. And until the last second, no one, not even the most experienced predator, will know who will come out alive. The biome is a mixture of cerrado and dry forest edge, with twisted trees offering short, harsh shadows. Small rodents sneak between the rocks, alert to eyes in the sky. It is a land of scarcity, where any carcass attracts fierce competition. The water sources are shallow and contested. Wolves and bears share the same domain, but not the same food sources. The prevailing silence in the forest is broken by occasional cracks of dry bark under light paws. Predators are active. A distant howl already echoed in the morning, signaling hunting movement. Tension is in the air, invisible but present, and it will soon be broken by an encounter where instinct and strategy will enter into direct conflict. The young she-wolf moves cautiously, her body close to the ground, eyes fixed on the fresh tracks ahead. Her flanks rise and fall with controlled breathing. Hunting alone is not common, but necessity imposes risks. There are pups waiting. The wind blows sideways, favoring her sense of smell. A dense, earthy, and recent scent. Young wild boar, separated from the group, digging roots under a low bush. The wolf circles the brush with precision, taking advantage of shadows and terrain unevenness. Her paws avoid dry branches, each step is calculated. When she sees the prey, she freezes. The boar, still unaware of the danger, digs with its snout. Then she approaches in a lateral arc, a pattern typical of felines but learned by observation, a stealth method that increases the chances of surprise. The charge occurs in a short, precise leap, ending with her jaws at the base of the prey's neck. The boar struggles for a few seconds, squealing before falling. The wolf holds it until she feels the weight relax, confirming the death. Her breathing is now heavy, but her gaze remains alert. With her mouth still in the bloodied fur, she looks around, sniffing the surroundings. The carcass is small, but it represents immediate food. She does not know that, at that moment, the scent of blood has already begun to travel with the wind. More than 500 meters away, in the shadow of a rocky outcrop, the grizzly bear raises its snout. Its nostrils flare, capturing with almost surgical precision the fresh scent of open flesh. He did not see the hunt, but the wind brought the invitation. With nearly 300 kilograms distributed in dense muscles beneath thick fur, he does not run. He walks with weight and silence. Each step sinks into the ground, but without hurry. He knows that carcass is not his, but it will be. The low vegetation does not hide him, but it does not betray him either. Birds fall silent with his approach. The bear moves in a diagonal line, climbing a small hill to view the valley below. There she is, the young she-wolf, with her snout stained with blood, beginning to drag the boar. The bear stops, observes for long seconds. Ears upright. He does not roar. He does not advance. He waits. He knows that the impact of surprise will be his weapon. Then he descends. His gait changes, lighter, almost feline. When the she-wolf finally notices him, it is already too late. A crack of loose stone reveals the predator. The wolf turns her head, eyes wide. The bear bursts through the vegetation less than 20 meters away, and his dark eyes meet hers. The carcass is forgotten. In 2 seconds, the scene changes from hunt to survival. The wolf immediately retreats, the hairs on her back bristling and teeth bared, but the bear is already in motion. His charge is not fast, it is overwhelming. In a few strides, he covers the distance with long impulses. The wolf tries to dodge to the side, an arcing evasive move typical of smaller predators, but the bear anticipates and changes angle. With a front paw, he delivers a lateral blow. The force of the impact throws the wolf against the rocky ground. She rises in a quick leap, slightly limping, and tries to escape up the slope. But the bear does not pursue in haste. He walks, cornering, pushing with his presence. As she tries to hide under a thick bush, the wolf is pulled by her haunch. The bear's teeth do not pierce like those of a hunter, but hold with brutality. She reacts with short bites, with little effect, and lets out a piercing, deep howl that breaks the dry valley. That howl echoes like an alarm. The wolf struggles, twists her body with difficulty, tries to bite the base of the bear's paw, who growls with restrained rage. A second blow hits her flank. The bear does not want to kill her, he wants to drive her away. But the instinct of possession and the blood on the ground heighten the tension. At the top of the nearby hill, alert eyes catch the sound. A rapid movement begins. The alpha has heard. At the top of the slope, the alpha wolf stops abruptly. The wind brought the smell of blood, but it is the howl that moves him. His muscles contract, and within seconds he descends, flanked by 3 adults and 2 subadults. The pack runs in a dispersed formation, adapting to the uneven terrain. The alpha leads in front, focused, sniffing in real time. Each member knows what to do. There are no vocalizations, only the coordinated sound of paws on dry ground and forced breathing. When they cross the visual limit of the clearing, they see the scene, the fallen she-wolf, panting, the bear over her. The boar carcass abandoned a few meters away. The alpha slows and growls low. The other members circle. The bear sees them, rises onto his hind legs, a display of size. But wolves are not intimidated by height, but by intention. The response is immediate. 2 wolves attack from the flanks, fast, aiming for the hocks. The bear turns, knocks one down with his paw, but cannot maintain focus. The encirclement tightens. The alpha takes advantage of the distraction and approaches the female. He touches his snout to her neck, testing for response. She still breathes, but bleeds from the flank. A single touch is enough. She tries to rise. The bear roars for the first time, a deep sound that vibrates through the ground. The wolves momentarily retreat, not from fear, but to reposition. The strategy forms in seconds. Keep the bear spinning, confused, until he tires or makes a mistake. They do not intend to kill. They want him to give up. The bear spins on himself, eyes alert, trying to follow the quick, alternating movements of the pack. Each time he turns to one side, a wolf appears on the other, harassing, retreating. Do not attack from the front. They target the vulnerable parts. Flanks, hocks, the base of the hind legs. One of the adults feints an approach, veers off at the last second. Another bites and releases, provoking the bear to react with brute force and waste energy. The strategy is clear. Keep the predator in constant rotation, destabilize him. The bear advances a few steps, tries to isolate a wolf near the vegetation, but the other 3 appear in response, forcing him to retreat. There is no visible leader among the attackers, but all follow the cadence imposed by the alpha, who remains in a higher position, observing. The young she-wolf has withdrawn from the combat line, now protected by an attentive adult wolf, who slowly guides her behind a rock. The sounds of the confrontation intensify, growls, dry impacts, stones kicked with force. The bear already shows signs of fatigue. His breathing is audible, mouth ajar. A more desperate blow barely misses an adult wolf. The pack understands that the breaking point is approaching. They are about to execute the final maneuver, the one that will decide if the carcass will be recovered or if the bear will maintain dominance through force. The encirclement halts in a frozen instant. The bear stops. The wolves back off. In the center of the clearing, between the forgotten boar and the dust raised by paws, the alpha approaches alone. The bear stares at him. The world narrows, everything around falls silent. The wolf lifts his chin, firm posture, tail straight. The bear lowers his head slightly, letting out a low grunt. They study each other, 2 predators of distinct natures. The wolf, strategy and precision. The bear, brute strength and instinct. Eyes locked. Neither backs down. The alpha walks in an arc, defiant, the muscles of his back tense. The bear responds with a step forward and a paw strike on the dry ground. The tension is palpable, as if the air had weight. The wolves watch still. The injured she-wolf too. When the bear finally roars, it is like a rupture. The alpha leaps sideways, and the clash begins. Paws against fangs, claws against agility. They collide with a dry impact. Dust rises, stones roll. The fight is fierce, without respite. The bear tries to crush the wolf with heavy blows, but the alpha dodges, spins, bites the shoulder, then retreats before being struck. Blood drips from a cut on the wolf's thigh. The bear also bleeds, flank torn by a deep bite. But in a moment of distraction, the bear lands a frontal paw strike that throws the alpha violently to the ground. The impact forces a hoarse bark from the wolf, who tries to rise even while staggering, his eyes fixed on the enemy. Before the bear can finish the attack, the pack advances furiously. 4 wolves surround him at once, growling, attacking in sync, as if the blow to their leader had triggered an ancestral instinctive response. The bear steps back once, then again. He looks around. He is surrounded by hungry eyes, tense bodies, and bared teeth. He turns, tries to intimidate, but there is no hesitation in the wolves. He feels the heat of his own blood running down his ribs, his body heavy and tired. Faced with the group's relentless resistance, their numbers, and determination, the bear finally gives up. He slowly turns around, retreating into the bushes, carrying with him the marks of battle and wounded pride. The silence that settles is heavy, like after a storm. The bear disappears among the twisted trees, leaving trails of blood and the dense scent of defeat. The pack remains in position for long seconds, until the alpha rises, staggering. His flank is open, but his eyes remain steady. He does not look at the others. He simply walks to the injured female, touches his snout to hers, and both lie side by side, in mutual and instinctive relief. The others regroup. There are cuts, scratches, chipped teeth, but none were lost. The boar carcass remains there, abandoned, stained with dust and dried blood. One of the subadults begins to drag it back to a safer spot, where the vegetation offers cover. The pack does not celebrate, it only breathes. Feeding now is a silent necessity. They will eat, then they will tend to their wounds and take turns keeping watch. Survival does not celebrate. It simply continues. In the dry vastness of this snowless territory, where every choice can cost a life, nature does not spare. But it teaches. The bear was stronger. The she-wolf, faster. The alpha wolf, bolder. The pack, more united. It was unity, allied with strategy, that defeated brute strength. Here, victory is measured by survival. And the final lesson remains engraved in the hot dust. In the wild theater of life, it is not always the strongest who wins, but those who stand together.